It's about to go down.
Yo, what is good, y'all? It's your boy Bolo Biggs, aka Ricky the Dragon Steamed Dumplings, aka Randy Nachos and Cheese Man Savage, ooh, yeah! Aka Jimmy Super Fries Snooker! It's late and I'm tired. Anyways, I'm putting together the video backwards. I hope you guys enjoy, get some good use out of it. Let's go. I'm just wrapping up a few of the places that I forgot to do for my the holes on my floor. Going with two different tool. I got my big boy here, which collects at the bottom. Shout out to Harbor Freight. The quarter for the bigger holes, and then I have other small ones for the smaller holes, which I'm using this so I don't have to switch the heads back and forth. Make sure the tip of your rivet gun is locked tight, otherwise you may get some jamming. I just dip my cock real generous, so you're protecting the bottom of the rivet as it pulls up, and once you push it in, it gets the outside. You see how it just glues up? Now I've already set up a few, so I'm gonna just knock these out and show you how fast they are. You wanna pump it. If it doesn't pop right away, release it, open it all the way, and then pop it. There you go, you have it there. Make sure it drops to the bottom, otherwise you'll make sure it drops into your cylinder. Some of them don't have cylinders, but just make sure they fall out. Otherwise, you'll jam this up. And next thing you know, you'll be back at Harbor Freight asking why your shit doesn't work. Falls through. Falls through. With the smaller holes, you can drill them bigger and use the quarter, or you just go to a smaller rivet. I've just set these up. I haven't cocked them and put them in place yet. Doing the same process. Remember the little yellow, the yellow rivet? This is for the smaller pieces, and all you have to do is just change out the head on those. Come right back, dab it. Move my finger around, leave a good amount. If you decide to use the technique I'm using where I'm dipping it in cock first, you will get build up here with the cock, with the quad. You just want to clean that off every so often with a rag, dip with mineral spirit. I was having a small debate or a small conversation with some folks that use pennies to seal up their holes. Now, the reason why I use rivets is because just imagine either covering or plugging. And the rivets not only plug, they pull themselves back so that it presses itself so that it can't be taken out. This is the penny method that some folks use. I'm gonna use a small one because I don't want to waste any of the big ones. My conversation with the person was about strength, that it makes no difference. This is the pin that comes out of the rivet. Let me show you what happens as far as strength goes. If I put this pin in the back of the hole, it pops right out. So you tell me if that's strength or not, versus me trying to push that out. That bad boy is not coming out, guys. That was the purpose of using a rivet, for strength. I'm not saying that using coins to seal up your holes is incorrect. That's not what I'm saying at all, guys. What I'm saying is you're not gonna go back to them, to the holes. So why not use something that is strong? The hole's already there. The rivets fit perfectly. The ones that don't, you just change sizes. Same technique. But that bad boy ain't coming out. But for my build, I know enough that I want it built properly. I think using the coin technique is cute. I mean, it's probably fun to do, but I'd rather use that money and go get me a junior bacon cheeseburger, you know what I mean? Shout out to Wendy's. So the big heavy duty-er one that I was using, Harbor Freight sells it for $19.99. I had a 25% off coupon, so I got it for 15 bucks. It comes with rivets of, I think, 5 different sizes, all the way up to a 1/4. And then they sell additional ones that you can get a box of for like $5-6 bucks. And I went back the next day and used my 25% off coupon again to do that. So the entire bus is done with rivets. So I am now going to paint my floor with Rust-oleum, I think. If you guys remember from my beginning of my series, I originally replaced my taillights with the newer lens from up top where the flashers were, and I thought they would have done the job, but for my walkthrough, I took in leaks, so I'm just going to replace the whole assembly. These are the lights that I'm going with. Shout out to, oh man, I keep forgetting his name. Shout out to Squirrel. Label my wires just so I don't mess them up, and just disconnect them, take the old housings out, and I'm gonna fiberglass from behind. All my labels cut and ready to go. First one is my reverse, driver side, passenger side. I never refer to my my bus left side, right side. I always say driver side, passenger side. So if I'm talking to somebody, we don't get mixed up and confused and be cutting or doing whatever to the wrong side of the vehicle. So it's front, rear, driver, passenger. Now I did it on both sides, that way when you fold them, it will be easy to read. I cover it with tape so that it lasts. When you're cutting your wire, try to get it to the longest point. So this is where they connected it. So I'm just gonna cut here to make it my cutoff point. Not using a light fixture anymore. I don't really care how short that line is. When you cut your wires, you want to be about 1.5 inches difference. The reason behind that is when you come back and reconnect your connectors, you want it to be offset. You see how it's offset there? So that when you wrap it, it isn't a big bulge. Just imagine having this here, so your line is thin, but then your 2 connectors side by side has a big bulge. I'm not installing my lights right away. What I'm doing is just stripping it and just putting a twist on it. Identify your negative or your positive, and just kind of tape it off so you don't have to constantly do your light test to see which one's negative and which one's positive. I'm using red for hot. Go ahead and wrap these up and take all the light fixtures out, cut them, label them, twist them off, protect them. So I'm actually not gonna go with the fiberglass technique to seal up these holes here for my rear assembly. So this is actually kind of soft, and it's actually 2 layers. The back layer is it's a metal sheet, pretty much like sheet metal. And here also, you can actually see it. Well, there's a gap in between that sheet metal and the fiberglass. The only way I know how to dress fiberglass or structure that's weakened is to add to it, and I just don't feel like fiberglass is gonna do the job, especially if there is a gap in between. So I'm gonna go back to using what I know, and that's sheet metal and rivets. So I'm gonna cut my sheet metal bigger than the holes, and then I'm just gonna rivet it. So basically taking the back panel that is kind of loose and gappy and press it to my new sheet of metal that I'm gonna add. The holes that I have, it actually lines up perfectly. I don't know how or why, but it actually lines up perfectly to my new bolts. Instead of putting it on the inside, I may put it on the outside holes, only because that door needs to clear when it opens, and I'm worried about the assembly getting squeezed. This is where my running light brake and small brake light was, and it had the license plate light underneath. So I went ahead and bought a new fixture for it. My reverse lights that used to be here is hardly here now. My running lights, my brake light, my signal, of course. So this is where my brake light used to be. This is where my signal used to be. Brake light and running lights. So now I'm gonna just have one fixture. I did remove those 3 running lights. They were actually just running lights. So I actually got a light bar, a red light bar that is a running light and a brake light. Getting ready to sand this down, guys. I went ahead and taped off the back side with duct tape just so I wouldn't get any dust in the bus. So all I'm using is the ceiling sheet metal that I removed. It's much more manageable when you're cutting a circle to cut it down to little squares. I'm using the big shears that a lot of roofers and carpenters use. What you want to do is open it as wide as you can that your hand can handle. When you're cutting it further from back here, it's a lot easier. It's like cutting into butter. So all I'm doing is just starting from the back of my shears, and it actually cut just like butter. Now you don't want to snip it all the way through, otherwise it gets a little tougher. So when you start to feel some resistance, open it back up, bend the sheet metal slightly, and you should be able to finish it off. Then I go to the smaller shear, just because it's more detailed, and I'm just gonna do the same process. Start as far back as I can, and all I'm doing is just tracing around the line. Show you what I mean when I say don't cut it all the way. So let's say you're cutting this sheet metal. If you start to cut it from back here, and then you snip it, and then you keep snipping it all the way like that to get to your circle, you're gonna leave those ridges, and that's just not pretty. Outside of tracing it, once I started cutting, it probably only took me maybe, I don't know, a minute, if that, on each disc. Like I said, it's like cutting butter if you're using the right technique and the right tools. Whatever your template was, all you have to do is just line it up perfectly, and then all you're gonna do is just trace it. That way you know where you have to be for your drill marks. Now what you want to do is hold it up there and go to the other side, and all you're gonna do is trace from the inside, which will give you this ring. Now you know where you can drill your hole without getting to the edge. Just broken it up into a 6-piece pie. I'm going with my 3/16, which is smaller, just to make so that it doesn't look horrible. And now I know where my drill points are. You're not gonna get it perfect, guys, but you're gonna get it close enough so that they look pretty uniform. First hole, see how it's nice and even in the middle. Got 2 more, and then I can cock it and pop it. As I know it may seem like tedious work or overkill, but this is the best way outside of doing Bondo and everything. Nah, fuck that shit. This is the best way to make something strong if you don't care about the looks. I don't care about the looks. I got fucking holes and rivets everywhere, bro. Smart. So I know which one's the top and which one's the bottom, so when I line them, I'm not shifting everywhere. Yes, I listen to gangster music. My phone's dying, so I'm gonna just pop these and put it on the charger. Clean it up a little bit. Once it dries, it'll look like that. So I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna do the rest of these and get out of here. So I'm just finishing up my my new disc, putting caulk on the rivets, and then I'm just doing the inside seal. Side done. Big Freedom's in the way. Move, Freedom. Come out. Alright, so I put the fixture in, guys, just to let you guys see what it looks like. Looks pretty good. I haven't bolted it in yet. I still gotta find the rubber bushing for the back for the bolts. So today is paint day. Been waiting for this forever. Got my curtain up. I got to put another curtain. I've already washed it and wiped it down and all that good stuff. I just hit it up with the air compressor, just get any dust that I missed out. I'm gonna set up the air compressor and the paint gun. I'm gonna just put a disclosure out right now. I know nothing about painting, especially with a painter's gun and a compressor and so on and so on. So the only thing I can offer you is just tape up your shit real good, protect the areas you don't want any oversprays. I don't care about anything back here. I just don't want my dash and everything to get all fucked up. Not so much worried about if I get overspray on the windows here. I can always just take a razor to it. I ran out of material. It's nothing exciting, guys. It's just painting. But the steps that I'm doing, the technique that I'm using is different to me because I'm using an air compressor and a paint gun. The reason why I wanted to go ahead and test it with the air compressor and paint gun now on the floor, which won't be seen, is because I want to get used to using it when I actually do the outside of the bus. I got an 8-gallon air compressor. Bought it from my cousin, 125 psi. Harbor Freight paint gun, I paid $9.99 with the coupon. It's 40 psi for that. Shout out to Harbor Freight. I got the rest of my material from Home Depot. The paint guy that I spoke to for quite a while said this is probably my best bet, what they have. It's an ultimate finish. It's a rusty metal primer. Got my mineral spirit to cut it with, my cup with the measurements, and my strainer. Got my stick. So reading on the back of this and what the gentleman told me, you do not want to exceed 5% of mineral spirit to Rust-oleum mixture. So I'm gonna get that set up, strain, and get ready. I know I want to do 2 coats. And from the back to the front, it's about a 9 by, I think 12 or 13. So probably 2 cans should do it. They didn't have the big gallons. I know I want to do 2 coats. Let it dry, do the second coat. This is the spray gun. Looks like it comes with the cup, the spray gun with the maybe a cleaner and the directions. So I just looked over the directions. Actually, very minimal parts to this. Their kit, at least. It's just the your cup screwing onto the top. You have to play with the PSI and how you want your flow. That just, I guess, comes with practice. But for the very first time, I guess they're telling me to take this head off and the back piece off and clean it down with mineral spirit before my first use. Got my mask. Now, guys, the one thing I forgot to get was the stand for the strainer. But I have 2 people here, well, me and my buddy, so he's gonna hold it while I strain.
Get your ass in the truck.
I'm just trying it, bro.
Very closable. There you go.
Doesn't seem like it's coming out much, see?
But we can always improve that the PSI.
Still not really coming out. Make it like heavy. I'll be here off. Which one did you turn?
You just gotta go slow.
Okay. We got about half the floor done with half of the paint jar, and we still have what, about a third left.
Yeah.
So it's doing a pretty good cover. We were able to do the entire floor all the way up to the front, except for the chair area, with 1 quart. Started to do some of the rails. I was able to do the emergency doors with just the 1 quart. On my second coat, second coat, I'm gonna do the floor again, and I'm gonna finish off those rails. Just because there are potential for rust, and actually it has some rust already that I've sanded down. Alright guys, I am finished. I'm finished painting. Overall, a pretty successful step. Quick review on the paint gun. $9.99 Harbor Freight. It goes on sale next week for $7.99. Originally $15.99. After I got going, it worked out really well. I had to play with the nozzle, play with the adjustment of the PSI and all that good stuff. Thank God George came along, because I was wasting paint showed me how to use it, and we knocked it out pretty quickly. One coat, one quart, worked out really well. Got the 2 extra emergency doors done, started some rails. I'm gonna do the second coat off camera, but I'm done for the night. So before I hit y'all with the deuces and peace outs and all that good stuff, I wanted to share with you guys what I've learned on YouTube University since I've been using it to help you and to help us viewers out. Actually, main reason why I'm on YouTube, I store my videos on YouTube. I basically use YouTube as a storage place. I create my photos, I make them private, and I put my videos in there so that my daughter can watch them when she's not with me, for her trips, fishing, adventuring, whatever be the case. I'm currently using YouTube for my skoolie build. On my last project, my camper van build, I didn't do any videos. But this time around, I wanted to take everybody's videos that I've learned and researched from and put it together with my spin on it, to make it easy to help others out there that may lack experience or just need extra help or just ideas in general. But I wanted to make my channel very easy to watch and maneuver around. So here's where I need your help and help yourself. I love watching skoolie builds and conversions. When I can't find any, I watch vans conversions because that's where I originally came from. But I really love channels that make it easy for us viewers to watch your videos. When I find a new build, I binge watch the hell out of them, and then I subscribe for future videos. Back to what I've learned. Well, YouTube likes to suggest and put in your recommendation box videos you've liked or related to what you're watching. I guess they do it either by the tags that people use. They kind of use it by the video names, aka labels that the people put in their descriptions. So if I see a label or a name that I relate to, I click on it. I click on it right away. I binge watch the hell out of it, even if it's something related to something that I've watched 100,000 times. I'll click on it. Ones that are pretty vague, I just skip on. There's so many videos out there. I pass on them. If you title your videos with episode numbers or video log numbers and so on, and things like that, I'm definitely inclined to watch your video and visit your channel. Again, I binge watch the living hell out of your videos, and then I watch your adventures when I'm caught up. That said, it's best to have your videos on a playlist. When I get to your channel, I want it ready to go. I want to binge watch the shit out of them. It's best to have it on a playlist. I don't want to have to go searching for your build videos, you know, where you have 20 videos uploaded in the last 3 weeks, and some of them are your builds and some of them are your love for your butterflies. It's best to have it on playlist. Otherwise, I'll check your playlist. If it's not there, I'm out. If you do create a playlist, for God's sakes, please put that shit in order. Sort it in order from oldest to newest. Main reason why that is so important, if I'm on episode 4, after I finish watching your episode 4, it goes to episode 3. So I'm working backwards. So once episode 4 is finished, it goes to episode 3. So then I have to hit back and find episode 5. And once episode 5 is finished, it goes back to episode 4. And so on and so on. I mean, imagine watching a movie backwards. You don't want to spoil the ending. You know what I mean? So I don't want to watch your finished product first and then work backwards. If I hit your playlist, let it roll, let it go in order. If you do have it in a good in order playlist, again, a lot of folks like myself will click on your play all, and it'll just run. It just keeps going and going. If your video is interesting and I want to keep watching your series, I will reach out to folks and politely ask, hey, would you mind putting your videos, your playlist in order? And I've had yet to have somebody not thank me for suggesting that. But if your video just I'm probably just gonna get out of it and go into the next person. The best part about having your videos on a playlist, guys, I let that shit run. I mean, I go from episode 1 all the way to your current episode, even if it's like episode 58. If I'm at work and I get busy, I just let it run. If I miss something and I'm like, shit, I just let it loop around again. And the best part about letting it loop around again or replaying it, the whole entire playlist again, so you're getting the complete video view. So none of the commercials get skipped when I watch it on a loop. I hope that helps some of you newbies or even the seasoned ones. Label your videos, man. That's great for viewers like myself that binge watch, or I mean, you guys have a lot of hundreds and millions of videos out there. If you make it hard for people to watch your videos, they're just gonna skip on to the next person. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the video and got some good tips out of it. Not sure what the next stage is for me yet, so shit. By the time I piece this together, I won't even know what's on there. Hopefully, there's enough for you guys to be entertained with and learn from. So be good to each other. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Your boy Bolo Biggs out. Deuces.